We got a chance to speak to the stars of the brand new Apple TV Plus series, The Big Door Prize, Chris O'Dowd and Gabrielle Dennis. Check it out. Big Door Prize is such a ride, and I have a feeling that the both of you have spent most of your day answering questions about what you want your Morpho card to say or some derivative. So I'm going to change it up a little for you. I was hoping you could talk to me about whether or not you've had one of those moments in your life, one of those triggering moments that kind of forced you to relook at whatever it is you were doing.
I mean, I think as an actor, a lot of times we're forced to align the work with what we're doing, trying to find the substitutions in the work that we can place in what our characters are going through and what we've either experienced or are going through in our personal life. So, for example, with Cass, just that whole eye opening and awakening of like that question, "Are you happy?" I think that's a very heavy question regardless of who you ask, depending on what time they are in their life. And a lot of times for me, post pandemic or during the pandemic, it was very much so reassessing the things that were most important to me during that time. And I think as a collective, the whole world has done a similar thing.
Went through that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that reality of like really catching how I changed during that time and the things that I did change during that time aligning with the question marks that Cass, the character, has had in the show. Because really, I mean, the pandemic kind of swooped in like a invisible through the night, like the Morpho machine, just out of nowhere. It's like one day your world completely changes. There's all this new information, and it's not just personally; it's the entire community has changed. So obviously we
Yeah.
experienced it on a more global level, but yeah.
I think that's what struck me most about the show and that's what made it feel so timely as well because you're releasing this globally on Apple TV Plus and it feels like there is something here that everyone can relate to almost immediately. When you were making this, Chris, was that a sense that you got?
I think that during the pandemic, everybody obviously was made to ask the question, you're halfway through your life. Well, people like me anyway, halfway through your life. Are you doing it right? Are you sure? Because
It could be less than half, man. It's not halfway
there
through.
is no way. If I make it to 60, I'm going to give you $100.
Oh.
I think I think there is that point where it's like it's a turning point where this is the last time you could really make a great change. A
Right,
great
yes.
change. And that is the decision that's thrust in front of them. We talk about that a lot in terms of, I mean, on set, in terms of the morpho car being a catalyst rather than the reason for somebody to do something.
Yeah.
And like religion or like friends, they can point you in a different direction, but you can only walk that way yourself.
Which segues wonderfully into my next question. I think the sense that I got from this series, more than anything else, was yearning. And that trigger for wanting something more and wanting something better. And I wanted your take on what you felt about these characters and whether they were genuinely happy in the beginning or just oblivious to the fact that they weren't.
I like to think they were very happy on what they at the time thought happiness was, you know. I feel like if you ask seven different people, they'll have a you'll have 10 different definitions of what happiness is to that person. So I feel like as high school sweethearts and in this small town where there's not like you're not out here trying to meet super high expectations, right? So you're just enjoying
Right.
life. It's the American dream. We're married, we have a child, we're in a home, we're in this loving community where everyone knows your name. And then lightning strikes, and it's like, wait a minute, there's other things that I've suppressed that might make me happier. Will it or will it not? You know, but without those questions, I think that they were pretty happy. And like, like you were saying, as far as the empty nester vibes coming along, like with Trina being at that age where she's a few years from being, legally be out the house or whatnot. A lot of couples I know, that's around the time they start thinking like, oh, the house is going to be empty soon. I'm going to miss my kid or they're not going to need me anymore. Now everything shifts to now there's this one-on-one dynamic. How do we make that work with the new formula, in the home? So I would say that they were happy, or at least they thought they were very much so happy.
Which felt like a good thing at the time. I'm all out of time, but it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much. And speaking of Trina, Juliet Amara should play every teenager in television. She's absolutely fantastic.
She is.
It filled me with hope and faith again.
Oh,
But
I
yes,
love
thank
that.
you guys. It's been an
Oh,
absolute
lovely
pleasure.
speaking with you.
Thank you so much.
What about you, Mr. Hubbard? What are you going to be?
Don't forget to watch The Big Door Prize on Apple TV Plus. It's really quite good. Don't forget to let us know what you think in the comments. Also, do the needful, like, follow, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Yeah, all of that stuff. You know what to do.